Hi there, my name is Hirsch Milani. I'm a current NYU resident, and now we're going to do a really great CCS case with a motor vehicle accident. And so this is one of the emergent cases that isn't cardiac, that may or may not be palm. So here we have a young 28-year-old male brought in after a motor vehicle accident, is a little bit tachycardic, hypotensive, and a little tachypneic. So going fast, severe abdominal and flank pain versus shoulder pain with inspiration, was wearing a seatbelt. All right, so every single time I have an emergent case, you want to do top two, bottom two, and since this person is complaining of some abdominal pain, I would definitely get genital and rectal as well. So in this situation, you don't want to skip out on the rectal genital like you will in a lot of emergent cases. You absolutely want to get it. And so let's get this, and here we can say cool to touch. Abdomen is firm and tender. That's not great. Rectal they skipped, which is okay. And okay, so we have a firm abdomen, and so we definitely want to stabilize him, but we gotta kind of manage this. So it's one of those, like, we have no idea what's happening, but there's probably something going on. And in trauma, you'll see that they just do a lot more imaging than in a lot of other cases. And so let's also mirror that. We'll start with camo, so we'll get the EKG, we'll get ACC for access, we'll do M for morphine, and then O for oxygen. Once again, you want to write it exactly like this because it'll optimize your search. Half of this is just making sure that you click the right things so that you don't have to search for every little thing individually. So here, you're able to get cardiac monitoring and a 12 lead. We can get access, we can get a glucose check. Let's get the morphine. We can give IV. And then oxygen therapy, we'll give him a little bit of oxygen, maybe it helps. I mean, he's sounding fine, but it's always good to check, and it's okay in a trauma to slap on some oxygen. Now, that's kind of the stabilizing orders. Even though we haven't necessarily moved forward past the physical exam, let's start some diagnosis because we have to kind of get ahead of this. So let's do CBC, CMP. We want to get a lactate. Let's get a PT, PTT. In a situation like this, oftentimes you'll get a fast exam. With the ultrasound, you'll want to do probably x-rays of a bunch of things. So let's just type in x-ray. We'll also just type in CT. Oftentimes you'll just do a full CT. I mean, we definitely want a CTAP, but we can start here. I think this is pretty good. We'll start here. We'll see if it shows anything, and we'll go from there. So we'll get CBC, CMP. Let's get a lactate. PT, PTT. Great. Both of these we already got, so we can just cancel that. Fast ultrasound, absolutely. Okay, it didn't like that. Let's see if there's another x-ray. So it doesn't like whenever you search for x-ray like that, so we'll fix that. CT, what do we want? Let's get a CT cervical spine. Make sure there's no abnormalities there. Let's get CT abdomen with contrast. Let's see, lumbar thoracic spine. Sure, we can see if there's anything else going on that may be causing pain. It seemed like the neuro exam was normal, but always good. And the problem we had was x-ray. I think it may be x-ray. You have to search with the dash. And like I'm saying, exactly. So if you search x-ray incorrectly, nothing shows up. So really important just to do this the right way and understand exactly how to do this properly. Let's get a CT chest. We can get a CT of the abdomen. Honestly, it may come back completely positive, but just good to know. Maybe we just get CT chest. I don't think anything else. I don't think the abdomen is going to show us much, but if we really want it, it's not going to really be more. It's not going to hurt our score just because it's such a benign exam for someone in a trauma. So, setting okay. And you'll notice that actually, whenever I did this with the clock, I always in emergent cases do this one because then all the results keep coming and you save a lot of clicks. If you do this one, you'll waste so many clicks here. But here, after each result, it gives you the option to either keep going or to stop. So for example, here with the FAST exam, we see that we have some free fluid. So that doesn't sound good. And so free fluid basically means we like bought ourselves an XLAP. I'm going to go ahead and stop now. And as soon as I have a order, like a result that clearly changes management, I stop it, because you don't want to keep advancing because that delays care. And so we want to put in the appropriate orders. Appropriate order for someone like this is trauma surgery. And we can also put an XLAP, exploratory lab. Let's see what we got. Okay, that's the wrong one. Let's see. They're not liking this. Okay, exploratory laparotomy. Let's do that. Consult trauma. And honestly, oftentimes, if I'm not sure what's going on, okay, it's not loving us very much. Let's see. Trauma. Okay, it didn't love us. We can always consult general surgery as well. It seems like okay, there. If you just search trauma surgeon consult, it works. So we can just do that one. Oftentimes, if I don't fully know, I'll just search the word. So if it's a stroke, I'll search stroke. If it's something rheumatologic, I'll just search antibody, and you get a bunch of results. So similarly here, we're able to do that. So let's push these through and get some of these results. Okay, chest x-ray is fine. That's good. Okay, a little tachycardic, but otherwise fine. Gas is fine, and on these, okay, sure, that's fine. Oftentimes the consults, they don't say anything, just because the way it's set up is they want you to drive the care. But okay, CTAP was done, and okay, we have fluid, we have some fractures. Okay, CT spines are good. Let's continue. Metabolic panel, lactate is positive. I believe it. Okay, so taken for explorative laparotomy. Now someone like this with a splenic abscess, splenic bleeding, they'll probably remove a spleen. And now we're approaching the last bit where we want to put in any orders that can help us. And so oftentimes here, this is whenever I'll do advise, and I'll do vaccine. And so someone that loses their spleen, there are a couple of vaccines, but we'll get there. In terms of things we want to do here, driving with the seatbelt is always good. An exercise program after, kind of like PT, OT will probably be necessary. So we'll start there. Pneumococcal vaccine, and then the other one is meningitis vaccine. You would want meningococcal, but I think meningitis is probably the best one we got. So we'll confirm that. Let's see what other labs we ordered, things that we maybe want. If someone's going, in theory, anytime someone's going to an operation, I always put an NPO. You can always try to consent. Unclear if this patient's consentable. It's an emergent procedure. They're probably not too worried. Given that it's a trauma, they're probably going to give some lactated ringers. And maybe also, given that hemoglobin was low, maybe a blood transfusion. It's pretty low risk, and in a lot of these cases where you have pretty significant emergent things going on, you can put in more invasive or bigger orders just because the patient needs it. And so now we've given them blood, we've given them fluids, we've handled their pain, we've been able to take them to the OR. I think we've done a pretty good job of both stabilizing and diagnosing, and then as soon as we got the diagnosis, we worked on management. And so I think at this point, you can probably see how it went. All right, so it seems like almost perfect. We probably missed a couple things. Let's see what we missed. So this is a massive one. This is a absolutely massive one. Is you want to get a type-in screen for someone that is going into like with any trauma, anytime you transfuse. And so that was definitely on my part, where anytime you're going to transfuse someone, you always want to order a type-in screen and then pelvic x-ray. It seems like there wouldn't have been a fracture, but if someone's coming in with pelvic, abdominal pain in a trauma, very, very low threshold for this. And then another thing you'll see at traumas is you'll place the Foley very quickly for urine output. But you'll see that so much of this is like being able to think and put in the orders very quickly. So highly recommend, if you need to work on that, you actually go to the speed order simulator. The CCS simulator will teach you how to push through the cases, but it takes so much time to click. Whereas in the speed order one, you can just see the case. And so, for example, this is the exact same case. You have this patient, they're coming in like this. And what you do is it's broken into two parts. The first part is stabilize and diagnose. And so for someone like this, you'll do all the orders that we did. You'll do the EKG, you'll do cardiac monitoring, and then you'll get the CTAP. And once you're kind of done with your original orders, abdomen, pelvis, okay, it doesn't like us. Once you're done with your original orders, then what you do is you hit reveal diagnosis. It'll give you the diagnosis. And so now you know exactly what's going on. And once you have the diagnosis, then you put all of your management orders. And so you'll put in all your management orders, and then you'll see your results. And once you're here, it's fantastic, because doing a case with the speed orders will take you maybe 3 minutes, whereas if you do the simulator, it's 10, 15 minutes. And so you're able to do way more cases, and you get really good at the instincts of, okay, with anytime I'm transfusing, I need to get this. Anytime I'm working up a cardiac thing, I want to get lipids, I want to get A1C. And so all of these things are just skills and habits that you have to develop. And so the speed order game simulator is way, way better for you to get those reps. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.